Bev Buds.
Good morning, afternoon, or evening, whatever time you're listening and wherever you're listening from. This is Bev Buds. As always, we're your hosts. I'm Trent Reardon.
I'm Daniel Gray.
And I'm Kyle Wright.
And today's beverage is presented by Daniel, and it is
Simcoe.
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 What would the tagline be for Simcoe, D? The more you sim, the more you go.
The more you sim, the more you sow.
So, what made you pick this one, D?
I saw it at Dan Murphy's.
Yeah.
And I thought...
I tried to open it.
Oh no.
This
has gone everywhere.
I saw it at Dan Murphy's. Sorry, you got me excited there, Kai.
Sorry, I got very excited. Yeah, go on.
And thought to myself, you know what? I'll let Dan Murphy's decide. I picked the first sign that they said, buy this drink.
I like it. So, Simcoe. It says it needs more Simcoe. I don't know if the whole drink's called needs more Simcoe. We could be reading this wrong, and it's just called Blackman's.
So it looks like it's brewed by Blackman's.
Yeah.
Which is a local brewery in Torquay.
Right, and it looks very hoppy by the looks of it, by the taste of it as well. No, but I like your pick there. I'm glad you spent a lot of time figuring out what bev you want to.
Yeah, I didn't walk in like to your bottle shop down the road and go, that one.
So the caption on the can states that single hop Simcoe. Simcoe is known as the glory town of all hops. Well, according to us at Blackman's, it's fruity, piney, and bursting with floral goodness.
They're my favourite flavours of a beer.
That's definitely what I look for. I definitely look for the floral.
Oh, I love this VB. It's really nice and florally.
I'm making sure the can, like it says, enjoy responsibly.
Enjoy responsibly. That's
We don't want to open it like me and not enjoy it responsibly.
So, speaking about bevs,
Yeah.
obviously we do love our bevs.
We do.
And that's the whole reason, I guess, why we started this podcast and where we got the name for the podcast. Which brings me to our listeners. If they are to search Bev Buds on Spotify, you may be a bit confused with some others.
Or iTunes. If we've got that far by the time we put this out. Yeah.
So you might be confused because there are a number of other podcasts that have very similar names.
Are they really?
So there's one called the Beverage Buddies.
Yeah.
Which, look, to me, I don't want to start anything with them, and I hope they're listening.
Yeah.
Because they need a touch up.
And I think they need to up their game by the sounds of it.
So they're three English blokes,
Yeah.
who I presume is in their 40s, because they talk about things that happened in the late 80s and early 90s.
Yeah.
And they just have this weird, obnoxious background, like ambience of
during their podcast.
Of a local soccer game. But it's the volume is to the point where you could almost not hear them talk.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Secondly, you might come across another podcast known as the Bevy Podcast. Now, despite their name, they actually have nothing to do with alcoholic beverages. Instead, they focus their discussions about philosophy, arts, and relationships, which I guess is basically a rip-off of what we do, right?
Right. Well, I mean, yeah, to a point. I feel like we do it better with a bit more flair.
Absolutely.
Now, Trent,
Yeah.
I haven't seen you since last year. It's 2021 now.
Has it been that long?
It's been that long. Now, I wanted to ask, how's your New Year's?
It was great,
Yeah.
thanks. Yeah. So for the last 5 years, it's sort of been a tradition for me and my wife now, Lauren, to go to the Dramana 3 drive-in. They have a good sort of setup where you go in there and you watch 2 movies, and they have a great fireworks display at midnight.
Yeah.
But the problem is, the gates open at 5:30.
That's very bright.
It's very bright.
Drive-in.
So obviously there's a bit of a lull period where you're just sitting there, and the movie doesn't start till about 9 or 9:30.
Do you have dinner? Like, what do you...
Well, not really. The diner's there, but we're talking, like, you're paying astronomical fees for your dinner.
You get those weird-looking 80s toys that they all have around that place, though.
You do, that's right. Yeah, so you're sort of just stuck there for about 4 hours, and every single year we say to each other, we're going to plan this better. We're going to take something, we're going to take a footy, we're going to kick the footy or something, we're going to play some card games.
Yeah.
And without doubt, every year we don't. So we sit there, we eat cold, homemade sausage rolls, and that's our dinner.
What movies did they play this year?
So, last year...
Last year, yes.
They played Wonder Woman, 1984. which was, I reckon it was great.
You liked it?
I really did like it.
Because a lot of people are hating on that movie.
Yeah, I really liked it, but I guess I'm not an avid watcher of superhero movies.
Right.
Have you actually seen the first one?
I haven't.
Oh.
The first one was good.
Yeah, so that was good. And then the second one was Super Intelligence, which features James Corden and Melissa McCarthy. So absolute A-grade cast, right? Like, we're talking like Oscar-worthy cast.
Yeah.
And that was just fantastic.
Let me guess. That was your favourite one.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Well, it sounds like you had a good night, though.
Yeah.
Dan and I, we went out to Taco Bell.
Yeah.
We had fish bowls, which for those of you who haven't had a fish bowl yet, you should go get one.
It's definitely not drinking the water out of a goldfish bowl.
It's basically
They ran out of the goldfish bowl, so they gave us jugs.
they ran out of... So they're these giant glasses. They look like the size of a fish bowl.
Yeah.
And they fill it full of pre-made frozen slushy and shots of tequila.
Right. And it's big.
It's big.
Yeah.
Well, you're not meant to order one. You're meant to have 2 per fishbowl minimum.
Right.
You can't just walk up and say, 1 fishbowl, please. And the other thing with them is that you need to take your ID. They take your ID off you because I've always heard it's because people steal the fish bowls.
Yeah, right.
So they must be expensive glassware.
Oh, yeah. All I remember is, like, we finished drinking them, and they're strong drinks after a while. We're all getting quite tipsy from it all, and
Dan and I
like
went with our partners, and
Yep.
then Nick and Tisho. Nick may or may not appear on the podcast later.
All I remember is, like, we get back here, and, like...
So you didn't stay till midnight?
No, we didn't stay until midnight.
Right.
We stayed till, like, 10 o'clock, came back to the house, and just had a few drinks here.
Yeah.
And for some reason, Kyle had goon again.
Well, listen, it was here from the Bev Buds episode, and I just thought, you know what? I'm gonna party like it's like I'm 18
like it's
again.
2012.
And I regret it, and I threw the half-empty sack of goon in the bin the next day. We had vodka before we left. We had the tequila.
Yeah.
Then we had the wine in brackets, Fruit Alexia, which I don't know why we picked because it's so fraught. Vodka or gin. And we had lemonade in it. We had these really nice... We could make something nice, but I settled for the bottom of the barrel. I really just wanted to start the new year off with no expectation. Like, should we do a suggestion box?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do the song, Kai.
What's the suggestion today? What will it be? I'm gonna open a suggestion box. Oh, here we go. So this is a new suggestion. If animals could talk, which one would be the rudest? If animals could talk, which one would be the rudest? I reckon, okay...
Anything that's endangered, probably, because they're pissed off at all of us.
Yeah, well, okay, what about, like, the last, like, black rhino or something? Like, surely it's not happy. Or changing gears to something more positive. Dogs could be rude, because
but no, I
they
think,
want food.
Yeah, but I feel like the majority of dogs are more happier than...
It'd be cats.
Cats, 100%.
Cat,
100%
maybe
for
rude.
me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I hated your cats.
Nah, you liked it, man.
I hated those cats. Like, one was just bounce off the walls. The other one I tried to pat and would take a swing at
Listen,
me.
cats are loyal, alright? Should we... Okay, are we universally agree?
I'm satisfied that
I'm
a
satisfied
cat
with
is the
cats.
rudest animal.
Trent, would you like to read a...
Sure.
Do the song, Trent.
Do the song.
What was the song again? That... What?
I don't know.
Okay. This one comes in from Anonymous. Which body part do you wish could detach and why?
Oh my god.
Your head.
Do you
with
wish
it?
you could detach your head?
Yeah.
You'd be screwed though if you put your head down somewhere and you lost where it was and you can't see.
But, like...
How do you know where your body is?
Yeah.
But think about how many convenient things that would come with.
What would you do? Tell me.
Like...
Tell
me something.
Like, I feel like you could get some good scares on people.
Okay.
Like, out of all the things, like...
But would that not be...
Because, like,
would it not become the norm? Are we talking to everybody
No,
being able to...
Just you. I'm assuming this is just for one person.
everyone's heads could just pop off.
Can we swap heads? No, surely it's
For me, it's an arm.
an arm
Because-
or an ear.
Yeah, I guess. But for me, the arm, because you could detach your right arm,
Yeah.
hold it with your left, and then you've got an extra long arm.
Right.
You know, you reach
So you can
the,
reach stuff.
the hard to get things.
Like, especially the things up high.
Up
in the
high,
pantry.
that's right.
Yeah.
But think about this. You got your new drone.
Yeah.
Pop up your head.
Put it on the drone.
The drone.
Strap it to the drone
What if
and
it falls
fly
off?
away.
Just make sure you don't run out of battery.
Listen, I'm gonna settle this. Most practical use for it would be ears or eyes, so you could put them in rooms and spy.
That sounds like just like.
And then they freak out when they see a rogue ear or eye in the room. Come on, would you like to know what you're saying? with an eye or ear up there.
All he would be doing is playing video games and mumbling to himself about people pissing him off, probably.
I like that. Should we?
We'll do one more.
We'll do one more. This one's from Kristen Wright. From Mornington Peninsula.
Another real person.
Wow.
What is the worst date you have ever been on and why? Mine's quite simple. Mine was just really awkward. And it was sort of at an Italian... It was at an upscale Italian place, which I didn't realise when booking.
He thought he was going to La Paqueta.
I thought it was... Yeah, I mean, you
I
know...
thought he was going to Domino's.
How can you beat that theme song? It tastes so much better than La Paqueta. Anyway, I was in there. This was a while ago.
Yeah.
I think it was just after... Yeah, broken up with my last partner.
Mm.
And I was on this date. It was from Tinder. First time on a Tinder date.
Yeah.
And we go into the Italian restaurant, and there's no one else there. It's just me and this girl. And this girl's
Who set up this date?
I did.
You did, okay.
Yeah, I picked. It was up towards the city.
Yeah.
It was. I don't know what night it was. I think it was a Saturday night. Maybe it was a Sunday. That could have been my downfall.
Yeah.
But basically, it had all. Looking at it from an outside point, you know, booking the Italian restaurant.
Yeah.
Going to it had potential to be a good date.
Yep.
But the date was very awkward.
Mm.
I felt like I was trying to talk a lot, and they didn't reciprocate. And there was no one else in the room, so there was not even anything to sort of, you know, bond
Talk
over.
about. Yeah.
So it was a quite easy one for me. That's my worst.
Do you
date.
like pizza? I like pizza.
Oh, Italian food. What about you, D? What's your worst date you've been on?
There's background to it too. Like, I was probably like 19 at the time.
Yeah.
And I was working for a company where I had to get up at like... I started work at like 5 in the morning.
Yeah.
In the middle of the city. And the only time I could go on a date with this girl was during the week. And I'm like, alright, fine, I'll go to sleep at 11 o'clock, whatever, 12 o'clock.
Right.
I didn't realise when she organised it, we went to the drive-in. I thought it was the Germana one.
Oh, it was up in the city, or...
Yeah.
Okay.
And had to pick her up as well.
Mm.
So we watched the movie and all that, but I had to drop her home. But I thought, like, oh, okay, she must just be around the corner in the city. I had to go over the bridge, 2 bridges, I think.
Westgate? Like
Yeah.
on the other side of the city?
Yeah.
Near like the zoo and stuff?
Yeah, past the zoo.
Oh, okay.
And, like, I didn't, like, it was a good another hour drive. And the time I dropped off, it was about, like, at least 1 o'clock.
So you came home, went to sleep, and got up to go to work in the city the next day.
And I had to, and I was part of me tempted to just park at the work.
And sleep in your car.
Yeah. And I had to just, but ended up having to just, went like, you know what, now I'm driving home, and I got my good 45 minutes sleep.
That would have been great.
That was probably my worst one, because all I was thinking the entire time was,
not worth it.
I want to go to bed. I want to go to sleep.
Good, that is a bad day. We answered the question correctly.
Oh.
Oh, I feel good now. But we've had like, what animal...
I'm glad we ended on such a positive, fun question.
So, I want to ask you guys one other thing.
Yeah.
It's sort of it's a bit of a random question, but it got asked to me this week.
Right.
If a 2-year-old
Yep.
hands you a toy phone,
Right.
do you answer it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you'd answer it with no questions asked.
Yeah.
You're given a toy phone, you answer it.
Yep.
How old does someone have to be where you wouldn't answer the toy phone? Like if I give you a toy phone, and it's like, you know, like a Sesame Street phone, would you answer it?
Probably not.
I feel like jokingly we would.
Would you? Or would you want him like trying to embarrass me and be like, no, I'm not going to answer that?
So the phone is obviously a toy.
Clearly a toy phone. There's like, you know, little character pictures on the buttons, makes animal sounds or whatnot. How old do you reckon?
I feel like in our case we would answer it, but I guess if we're talking someone
on the
else,
street and walk up
someone,
How old would they have to be if you did not answer?
they'd have to be, for me,
Yeah.
they'd have to be younger than 10.
Okay.
Any older than that, and yeah.
What about you, D?
Yeah.
Let's say you don't know them as well.
Oh, part of me goes to like pick up the phone as a joke at the kid screaming that he's just stolen a child's toy. But like, yeah, just entertaining, going like, haha, who's this? Domino's? Like, I don't know. That's the first one that comes to mind is Domino's.
So, speaking of, as well, of kids crap,
Yeah.
what is the deal with the 2 giant Elmos I've seen this morning driving to the gym?
Are you talking about those inflatable ones?
The inflatable Elmos. So, if you're not aware of the area, guys, there's these. I've driven past these 2 giant red inflatable Elmo mascot things that are promoting some sort of circus. There's one in Benton Square of this random guy's house. And then there's one at 7-Eleven in Mornington. And
they're not small. No. I'd say like they're 5 meters tall.
They're big. They're huge. They're really big.
I've actually seen some as well. But
where different ones?
Different ones. Yeah. So I've seen them in Mount Eliza.
Are they all Elmo?
Yeah.
So Elmo's is he the only character in this?
Maybe.
Or have they just mass produce these giant inflatable?
But like, if you notice, like, I just pay attention to the Elmo. I don't pay attention to the actual written part where it says like,
oh my God, it's an Elmo.
I feel like they're not achieving what they set out to achieve.
Can I just say, this Elmo is right next to a busy roundabout, the one in Benton Square. I was distracted looking at it. Surely it's like a hazard to have this giant, terrifying figure sitting right next to the roundabout.
But yeah, I mean, so obviously it's so I guess not obviously, because it doesn't really state on it what it's for. It just says book now and it has a phone number. So what are you booking?
And is it a local Elmo thing or is it promoting something up in Melbourne? Because there would be...
It's a carnival.
So it's coming to Mornington.
So there's like a circus sort of thing.
It's next to Bunnings.
Oh, where the old Silver Circus used to be.
Yeah, okay. Right. Yeah,
so
that's what it is.
You've seen 2 more.
I've seen 2.
Have you seen any others besides...
Yeah, and a bottle-o.
Okay.
For the kids to look at while the dad does the drive-through.
So between the 3 of us, we've seen 5 different Elmo locations.
Yeah.
How many do you reckon there are? What's your guess?
I wouldn't know. Like, how far would they branch out?
Like,
I mean, obviously, the circus is in Mornington, but I've seen them in Mount Eliza.
Like, if I went to you, Trent, I want to buy some inflatable Elmos. How many should I buy?
to promote my business.
Like, how many would you want to promote your business with?
Do you reckon Sesame Street, like...
Sesame Seeds?
Do you reckon Sesame Street sends them over to promote it? Because it's a big company. Like, it's been going since the 60s or however long. So do you reckon they send Elmos over and go, here, have this pile of inflatable Elmos, put them up everywhere to promote our circus?
Yeah. But yeah, I guess that makes you think, how many are out there?
I would like to know. I reckon I'm going to give you guys, this week, if you see an Elmo, this is including to our listeners, let's write down where you see it.
Yeah.
Let's see how many we can find.
Hopefully we can take a photo of it.
I'd like to find a few more. So, I've got a segment to play with you guys.
Right.
I want to call it What's on Carl's Mind.
Okay.
And I want
Could be dangerous.
Come up with things. I've come up with a few things I've thought about this week that have been on my mind. And I want to say them to you guys. Things that hopefully you haven't thought about in a while.
Yeah.
I'm hoping years. And I'm going to say it. And if you haven't thought about it in a while, I want you to give me a cheeky point. So the first thing that's on my mind this week was the bathroom vending machines that you see at nightclubs.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
You go into the bathroom on a night out and you see there's those vending machines that sell condoms, toothpaste, that sort of stuff.
They're not your average, packet of chips, chocolate bar type of
No, and I'm sort of thinking, why do they exist? Do they make money?
What?
They must. Oh, it's like either that or they have to do that. Like everyone needs a toothbrush at a club.
Everyone needs a spare toothbrush in case you forgot to brush your teeth before you go out.
I would give you a point for that one. I can't say I've thought about that one.
So just quickly, we're moving through the next one. What the last DVD you purchased?
Oh.
So for me, it's Prison Break Season 4. And I bought it because Dan and I used to go to the same video store in high school. Yeah. And the video shop only had one... They would only make one copy of a DVD for a TV show.
Unless it was like a big TV show.
But we were watching Prison Break and I was up to renting Season 4. And I knew Dan... We were watching it at the same time. And Dan rented it like a day before me. So I'm like, I'm not going to wait for Dan to finish it for the week.
Yeah. And he called me as well that day.
Because I knew it was him. And then I went to Sanity and bought one. So that was my last DVD purchase that I can think of. What about you, Trent?
I think mine would have been the box set of Friends.
Okay.
At the time, I had no friends and I needed something.
Have some company.
Yeah, no. So that would have been, I reckon that would have been about 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah. So the last one I have is the smell of Crown Casino.
No.
So I was in Crown this week and I thought, it has a distinct smell.
It does, doesn't it?
And I haven't thought about that smell all year because I haven't been able to go there.
Yeah.
And now that I'm in there again, it smells like, it's like pumped in air to do, and then like there's like a water feature, so it's kind of has that
Yeah.
water smell, like a fountain smell. Well,
Yeah, I'd give you a point for that one as well.
yeah.
I
So
haven't
well,
thought about that.
that's sort of what I've been thinking about this week.
So I just want to talk about veganism.
Yeah.
Because in this day and age, we've got McDonald's, we've got Hungry Jack's, we've got all those fast food outlets offering more vegan options.
Right.
And Kyle, I know you are a self-proclaimed vegan.
avid vegan for that 4-month period.
I just want to know why.
Well, I
What
did
made you? Well, I suppose you weren't really vegan.
I wasn't.
You were
I
more.
was more. I just went veggie because of gym, and
Yeah.
because I noticed an improvement in gym when I was eating less meat.
Yeah.
So I really stuck to it because of that. I would lax a bit on the weekends sometimes, having
Yeah.
cheeky pizza or whatever. But during the week, I wouldn't
Yeah.
say I was vegetarian. I just didn't eat that much meat.
Yeah. Right. So it wasn't because you felt sorry for the animals.
It wasn't. It was purely selfish motive.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I just want to talk about an experience I had. So I'm going to set the scene. I was living it up, living the good life up in the Gold Coast.
Yeah.
Up in Queensland.
Mm-hmm.
I was with my family and we're out at the Australian Outback Spectacular, which is the one next to Movie World.
Yeah.
And for those of you who are not familiar with it, it's basically they put on a show at night about the cattlemen of Australia to do with the outback and, the floods,
That's the one
droughts.
next to Dreamworld and stuff.
Yeah, it's around that area.
Okay.
So, anyway, it's one of those shows where you get a meal included with your ticket, and you either get a choice of two options: you get it chicken or beef. So, anyway, we made our choices before the show, and we went in there. We sat down, and it got about halfway through the show, and they start to bring out the food.
Right.
So I get the chicken, and my wife Lauren sitting next to me gets the beef.
That's very nice of you, Fred.
Yeah, so we're sitting there enjoying our nice meal. She was digging into a nice big thick juicy piece of steak.
Right.
And it was at that point they decided to bring out a cattle of cows.
Oh no.
And they just happened to make their way over to the corner where we were sitting.
Right.
And so there we were, sitting, enjoying this steak.
Watching cows.
With that
There's
sad look in
there's something
their
a bit messed up
Do you
about
think
that.
they knew the cow that you were eating?
They're not going to pick a cow from the show. So speaking of food, I was thinking about this week as well. We all have a food that we think we can eat way more of, but we actually can't.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, you order it and you go, oh, that's not going to fill me. I'll order the large or I'll have extra stuff. And you go to eat it and it fills you up.
Yeah.
Every time, but you always doubt it.
Yeah.
So for me, that's cereal. Where I'll pour myself a big bowl of cereal, fill it with milk,
Yeah.
and I'll start eating it. And I'll get down to the bottom and I'm like, I'm so full and so done with eating this.
And the worst part with cereal is, how do you dispose of it? Because you've got the actual cereal and then you've got the milk. What do you do you have to sift it out or?
You've got to commit to it.
You have to finish it, that's right.
What's yours, Dave? Have you got one?
Well, I've got two ones
Yeah.
for me. I'll say the first one, but then I'll mention the other one just for Trent's sake, because he'll bring him back flashbacks for him.
Right.
Number one would be kebabs. You never finish, I don't feel like I ever finish kebab.
Right.
You always get halfway through and you just give up.
You're done, yeah. Okay.
But the other one I can think of, this isn't oh, everyone must deal with this. If anyone doesn't know, and a lovely McDonald's quarter pounder.
Oh, God.
Well,
I've seen this. I've seen you do this. Go on.
I sometimes I'm going to get 4 patties in my quarter pounder. And it was always with Trent as well when I used to do it.
Yeah. It's disgusting. Describe what it looks like.
You don't even need, the buns just become grease.
It's just slabs of meat put together with 2 McDonald's buns.
Well, that brings me to a memory of one trip we were going away, and I just remember we stopped at a Macca's in a servo, and we're all sitting there. We all order separately, and we all get our meals. We all sit down at the table,
Yeah.
and we're all unpacking our meals. And then Dan unpacks his, and he's got 2 separate burgers.
Yeah.
And anyway, look, I didn't think too much of it. I thought, oh, he must be a hungry boy sort of thing. Whatever. So we're sitting there eating. We all sort of finish. And then I look over across at Dan, and he's eaten half of each burger.
Why? Why would you do that?
I guess for me, a meal that satisfies my hunger more than I thought it would It's probably spaghetti.
Yeah.
It's like a homemade spaghetti.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Just load up your bowl.
Yeah.
By the time you get about halfway through it, you think, no.
I'm done.
Mm.
Do you save the leftovers though? Like if you have a home spaghetti?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like we put it in a communal bowl, or would you glad wrap your bowl separate?
We make separate dishes, yeah.
Okay.
Do you make your own spaghetti? I've started doing that.
Oh.
No. It's like
Too much time and effort. You
it's like
pick up a
80
packet
cents.
for 60 cents.
Yeah.
It's not that bad.
I can't be bothered doing it. You make it.
Yeah.
How does that go?
It goes fine.
Do you
Like-
play Italian music while you do it?
No.
So before we should probably wrap up.
Yep.
What's your final verdict on the beer? How many thumbs up would you give it, Trent?
How many thumbs up?
Out of 13.
Out of 13,
Yep.
which is our official tally up.
It is, yeah.
On the Bev Buds. I'd probably give it a 10 3/4.
Thumbs up.
Out
So
of 13.
that's up there for you.
It is up there. It has plenty of flavour,
Yeah.
which is great, which is
Okay.
what I look for in a beer.
And you're an avid beer drinker, I take it? Yeah. What about you, D?
6 out of 13 for me because I'm not much of a-
6 out of 13.
That's not many thumbs.
No.
That isn't many thumbs.
I'm not much of a beer drinker,
Right.
and I found the flavour a bit too strong for my liking.
Oh,
Right.
fair enough. I'd probably give it a 9 thumbs up. I'm comparing it to other beers.
Yeah,
On our other podcast, we had that Byron Bay brew.
yeah,
I personally prefer that more.
yeah.
But this was, I liked it. It was different, and I quite enjoyed that it was. I like it.
Yeah. I like that it's local.
I just couldn't drink a lot of it, and that's probably
yeah.
where it lost marks. Where
Yeah.
it lost thumbs.
Lost some thumbs. Alrighty, so I think we're at the end of our podcast. I think we've had a good one today.
We have had a good
I don't know if our listeners will agree with us on that one, but
Well, they're
Yeah.
still here.
hopefully, hopefully if you're listening to this, well done. You deserve a medal, which we're not going to give to you because we don't have the budget either.
I'll give you the end of this bottle.
So yeah, thanks for listening. If you have any suggestions, just throw them our way, or anything that you'd like to say to us, just give us a buzz, and thanks for listening.
Bev Buds out.